You're listening to Jersey Joe from the Reverb Common Sense Show right here on SHR Media. We're going to be doing a replay just for today. I want to wish everybody a happy July 4th. Be safe, have fun, and remember what this day is all about. Oh, sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This will allow me to retort. Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reverb Common Sense Show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reverb Common Sense Show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. Or at least trying to. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch broadcast, go to Reverb.one. Click on the live stream. If you like that live stream, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And last but not least, if you want to support the show and support SHR Media, go to Reverb.one. That is REAVER.ONE. And go to the Reverb store. Pick yourself up a t-shirt, a coffee mug, so forth and so on. So many items to choose from. And all the items are freshly done just for you. So, I'm laughing because you got all these social justice warriors and these anti-gun lunatics flying all over social media. And they're spewing their bull crap. And they love to run their mouth, but as soon as you confront them with facts, you confront them with the reality, they got to hide. And usually they have to block, these little pussies do. They're so scared of the truth that they don't want to hear it. There are some assholes sitting there going, well, all these deaths are on the gun nuts. Blood is on their hands. And my response was no. The blood is on the hand of you anti-gun, disarm the American dumbasses. Case in point, all the shootings have happened in gun-fucking-free zones. That is you anti-gunners' ideas, not us. You're the ones that thought of, let's make this zone where there's no guns allowed and criminals will not go in there and shoot them up. You fucking half-baked, retarded motherfuckers. Where do you think these shootings are happening in your gun-free zones? Why? Because criminals know nobody is armed. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Idiots. And then I will bring out, as those that listen to the show know, that my father was shot when I was very young. He did survive, but it took something like 23 surgeries in 10 years. Very torturous. So, sorry, I'm looking at some polls. All right. My father took a bullet. State of New Jersey, concealed carry is next to impossible to get. The gentleman did not have a concealed carry. Committed murder, committed attempted murder, made my dad stand there as he murdered the boss first. Had to stand there and wait till this guy turned around and shot my dad. Now, why did all this go down? Because neither one of them could arm themselves to protect themselves. So this criminal was able to walk in there freely and do whatever the fuck he wanted to. Because anti-gunners are such pussies, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about when it comes to protecting themselves. And yes, my mouth is going today because when I talk about this, I'm very passionate, and I do not put up with idiocy that well. Especially when it comes to the idiocy of disarming Americans. But now it's not just about disarming Americans. This is about a secret list that the government will have, the government will come up with, and it does away with due process. It's a bunch of bullshit. When in history, folks, has it ever been good to give the power to the government, that kind of control, to create a secret list? When has it ever gone good for any country? No, but it is the beginning of a dictatorship, a totalitarian, whatever you want to call it. It's the end of the country as we know it. When you allow that much power, secret power, to be given to your government officials, it is over with, people. It will not end well for the people. IRS, look what they did. Oh, we never thought the IRS would be targeting political groups on the orders of the administration, and don't tell me they just did it on their own. Hey, you know, it'd be fun. Let's target these Tea Party people. It'll be fun. Bullshit. I don't know what the hell these people think. Everything's going to be all hunky-dory and rainbows and unicorns. The cars are going to drive around on unicorn farts, and it will give out candy as emissions. People, the world doesn't work that way. The world is an evil place. It is filled with evil people out to fuck you over. Period. I know that's a very glum look on life. When you spend close to 25 years seeing the seedier part of life, you do see what life's about. It is not about disarming people. It's about control. And they tell you all this bull crap. You have Senator Harry Reid, the fucking old bat. 90% of Americans want gun control. Hey, asshole, 90% of America has never agreed on anything. In no time in history have we agreed on that high a percentage ever. It is a push-pull created after they shot their mouse off by CNN and CBS. It's called push-polling, people. It's easy to get the results you want. I bet you I can go out there and get a 99% accurate poll that I am the goddamn Pope. Just call the certain group that I know that will say it. All I have to do is get a pro-gun point of view, is call pro-gun people. Harry Reid is blowing smoke up your ass and telling you it's sunshine. The old coot needs to be put to pasture. It's time for his retirement, and not in a mafia kind of way. In a, you're past your prime, you're old, please go to the retirement house. And there's nothing wrong with old people. It's just he is past his prime. Jesus Christ. I don't even think that's him. I think that's Obama with his hand up his ass, using him as a puppet. Harry Reid is a senile old bat. And what's funny is I even got Dianne Feinstein saying this is not a gun control issue. This is a national security issue we have to talk about. The idiot that did the filibuster, Charles Murphy or Christopher Murphy, I have him in an interview going, yeah, it may have not, it wouldn't have stopped the shootings. The rules that and these laws that they want to put in place with these secret no-fly lists would have stopped nothing. Nothing. Because he was not on a no-fly list, the Orlando shooter. He was investigated for 10 months and dropped. The investigation was dropped. Oh, yeah, now they want to put all these extra stuff into it. Well, you see, if he tries to buy a gun within 5 years of after being investigated, it'll trigger an alert, and it'll put this spoon up my ass, and it'll alert me that this guy is trying to buy a gun. It's called due process, people. We just can't put people on lists. Other governments have done that. And guess what? Again, it has not turned out that well. When the fuck is America going to wake up going, our government wants to create a secret list? I think it's time to vote those assholes out of there. Democrat and Republican alike, they need to go. When you have a government saying, let's vote a secret list in, it's time to redo our government. And people, we have the power. Paragraph 2, Declaration of Independence. We have the power to take over the government. We don't need the government's control. We don't need no stinking badges either. This piece I'm going to go over real quick was written by Sackhead Sean. And I appreciate what he wrote. I really do. It meant a lot. And it's to the victims of 9/11, and we have forgotten you. Go back a little bit. Let's go back to 2001, September, right after everything happened. We're in the rig. And I had a bunch of new people with me. They're all, look at this. Everybody's running out of their house. I was like, give them 2 weeks. Everybody will forget what happened. They'll start flipping us off. Yeah. About 2-3 weeks later, they're running outside their house, flipping us off. For the moment, it was a national tragedy. And too many people I knew would forget and go on from there. It's what we do as a nation. We forget about those who have passed away. But Sean goes on, we promised we would never forget. We would never forget the first responders, those who died that September morning or from complications afterwards. We wouldn't forget the passengers inside the 4 planes that were hijacked. The innocent people who went to work that day in New York and Washington, D.C. and were murdered by terrorists. We wouldn't forget. As a nation, we stood in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, and swore we wouldn't forget the heroes who fought back. We sent our military heroes off to war to hold those who perpetrated and planned the attacks responsible, and swore we wouldn't forget them and not let their sacrifice be wasted. Now, as we sit and watch, our country continues to fall under attack, and we have a commander-in-chief who refuses to acknowledge the threat, a president who is either unable or unwilling to formulate a plan. As individuals may not have forgotten, but as a nation surely have. We have rushed to gun control votes, but no declarations of war. Rushing to call for calm at home, but no actions or calls for the international community to stand together and actually slay ISIS. Just rhetoric and posturing. As a nation, we have forgot how to defend ourselves. We forgot how to take the fight to this enemy. We forgot how to crush those who pledge to ISIS. And to eliminate them before they can come here and harm us at home. We have started remembering before we make more promises to the dead that we have no intentions of keeping. The left, they found out they could use all this as a political tool. They can sway people. They now have people thinking that none of these jihadist Muslims are the problem, and that if we just ban guns, it'll solve all of our problems. You simple-minded people. So easily swayed. That scares the shit out of me. Disarming law-abiding citizens does one thing. And we've seen it time and time again in this country. All the shootings have been happening in gun-free zones. When you start to look at the shooters past, most all of them are registered Democrats. They keep blaming the NRA, and it hasn't been a single fucking NRA member that's done any of the shooting. It's a bunch of liberals that do the shooting. Maybe if Democrats would stop shooting up the country, we wouldn't have all these mass shootings. Maybe if the liberals would stop protecting our enemies, which I thought was against the law. But it seems in Obama's country, there is no law. I'm appalled at what we have become. I'm sickened at what we become. We actually got people that think in this dangerous times that disarming us is the best thing to do. We have enemies at our door like never before. And they want to give an easy path for our enemies to take. It is scary as hell. I'm trying to pull something up too at the same time as I'm talking. So I'm trying to walk and chew gum at the same time. My internet's been really funky lately. Oh. Sorry about this. Pulling up, Chris Paronto is starting a new organization, Leading from the Front. And he has a video up that, well, I'm going to at least play the audio from it. How you doing, Cal? Let's see if this is going to work. This usually does.
My name is Chris Paronto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is. and that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We are always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
So go to leadingfromthefront.org, sign up, join this movement. I will try to remember to play this a couple more times today, and I'm going to try to throw it into the commercial breaks for the rest of the week. These are a bunch of people that they're laughing at us. And I don't care if people laugh. It's just that they're laughing because they're going, look at what we did to that great country. Everybody's like, well, what difference does it make that they don't say radical Islamists? Because they're sitting there thinking they're winning. And when people think they're winning, they look like the winning team. And people are going to want to join them. That's how it is easy for them to recruit, is because they have this winning team. Whether they are winning or not, they have the appearance that they are winning. They're sitting there able to go on social medias, and they're the masters of social media, and our country isn't out there doing that crap. They are out there on social media going, look what we did to the great country that was the United States. We made it so that they are so scared that they won't even say radical Islam. They're so scared they won't mention our name. They're so scared that they won't admit what's going on. Look what we did to that once great country. Countries try to take it down. Russia tried taking the United States down. Germany, Japan, Britain. Time and time again, countries have stood up to the United States, and none of them can take it down. But guess what? ISIS, took down the mighty giant with ease. We did what Al-Qaeda couldn't even do. And if you don't think they're doing that, you're not on social media, you're not on Twitter, you're not looking around. You're in a little bubble. And you think, well, I don't give a shit what they say. You better, because that makes them look like the winning team, and that's when you get the lone wolf attacks. If we start hammering them where they can't be putting out that kind of propaganda and bullshit, well, they don't look like the winning team. And who wants to join a losing team? No one wants to go die for a losing cause. So people need to step up. I don't know what else to say to people. I can't believe the amount of people that are so blind to what's going on. You're listening to a replay from June 21st, 2016. This is put in place of July 4th, 2016. I want to wish everybody a happy July 4th. Be safe, have fun, and spend your time with some family. Till tomorrow, Tuesday, regular time, this is Jersey Joe saying, have a happy, safe 4th of July. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio and ICRN. And don't forget, July 4th is the big opening of Red Nation Rising Radio Network.
Now, at Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our Gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
Out of the ashes of liberal rises the phoenix born onto the Red Nation Rising Radio Network coming July 4th, 2016. One of the many serving this great phoenix of Red Nation Rising Network is the one, the only Jersey Joe. Jersey Joe is bringing his Reverb Common Sense show to the birth of a new Red Nation Rising Radio Network. Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying calf for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reverbcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reverb Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reverb of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense show with its host, Jersey Joe. And we are making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeovers here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. And we got a special guest. I love this guy. I've been listening to him for a while now on Facebook, and he's getting ready to come out with his own show. It is the Outlaw Morgan. You there, sir?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Yes, I'm here. What's going on?
Nothing much. Just trying to annoy as many pussy liberals as I can today.
Well, I think we all agree that pussy liberals suck dick. You know what I mean? I'm not I fucking hate everything they represent, everything they stand for. As a matter of fact, I was reading an article today about a kid who was planning on shooting Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And you saw that?
Yeah, I was one of the main viewers or listeners that's always in the chat room, and a fellow commentator, Kel Fritz. She has the show Red Fox out of Canada. And she loves, and she just puts out, I love Outlaw Morgan. She listens to you also, and she has her show. It's based out of Canada, and she has another show with a gentleman in England. And they talk about a lot what's going on in the United States, too, because it does affect what's going on nationwide. So,
yeah. Oh, man, the United States is like the nucleus. You know what I mean? Like, which is why, like, I always tell people one of the worst things that ever happened, and you can take it how you take it, but I always feel like one of the worst things we ever did was get in bed with the UN. I mean, I get that we need a United Nations, but at the same time, what this basically imposes on the average people is the globalists and their agenda, and the fact that they've created a UN police force that they're going to use to fight extremism, so on and so forth. So, you know, definitely, the U.S. is definitely a hub of sorts, and not everybody in Canada is liberal. Not all of them.
No, but I talk on the show quite frequently. I find it the irony that the Allied forces fought against socialism and all that bullshit. And we went and created an organization to keep that from ever happening again. And now what do we have? The Allied forces are now trying to push socialism. And the group that we created to keep it from happening is now the main hub of pushing socialism.
Right.
Oh, it drives me
Well, I mean, just look at the current administration, man. I mean, we have a president that can't even say the words radical Islamic terrorism.
Well, that's because he is one.
Right. It could be. Definitely a sympathizer. I mean, people are like Scott Baio was the first to say it. It's like, nah, man, there's been people that are not afraid to say things for what they are. It's just they don't have the same recognition. Yeah. But the way that I look at things is that I don't trust the president anymore. I truly do not. Not that I ever really did, but now I think he's displayed a vulgar display of, having no trustworthiness about him. I mean, here's the thing, man. You're gonna attack AR-15s, but you can't even say the words radical Islamic terrorism. And that disturbs me to the core, dude, because now we're playing a psychological game here. So now it's a psychological warfare. We're not going to say this word because we're just going to take this word out of everybody's vocabulary. We're going to replace this guy's transcript. Instead of saying Allah, which he did say, we're going to say God, so that people get confused if they the difference, and they're going to think that this guy, like, I get that a lot of people are plugged into social media, Facebook and things of that sort. But if you're not plugged in, let's just say for those people that aren't plugged in and don't even know that this guy's changed the wording, and they read this, they're gonna see it from a totally different light. Even though, I mean, because believe it or not, man, there are some people that are just they're not that plugged in, and they're not the brightest people, man. So they'll read that and instantly think that this guy was pledging his allegiance to God and whatnot. And it's stupid. And then you got Loretta Lynch, man, who is like, going after the First Amendment where you can't even speak out. Let me pick you a brush. All right. Let me Bob Ross this shit. Basically what they are doing is how the start of Germany occurred. You get what I'm saying? Like they're already doing this, so it's like, when your government starts to try to censor things and alter the information that you're able to receive, you can no longer trust your government. Not that you could, not that you ever could.
Also, with them sitting there trying to come up with a secret list that they will create without due process, that's never worked out good for any country ever. It never works out good for the people, and that was kind of the beginning of Nazi Germany. And I do hate going there, because it's all too common. But, I mean, it's the best example of, you're taking away people's First Amendment rights, Second Amendment right, Fifth Amendment and the 14th or 15th Amendment, I'm sorry, I'm having a brain fart, and you're taking away due process and all that away from every people and creating a secret list of who they're going to keep from owning guns and getting constitutional rights. And where does it go the next step?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, you got to be careful with the whole slippery slope syndrome, because once you start sliding, you never stop. I mean, until you hit the bottom. I mean, and me personally, I would rather we try to like pull back and practice reserve before we actually start heading to the bottom. And what scares me the most is our political leaders and figures seem to be not only entertaining the idea, but willing to put us on the slippery slope. You know what I mean? And like, not only that, they're going to give you a good shove as you go down. Like, here you go, hit the bottom, fucker. You know what I mean? Can I cuss?
Oh, fuck yeah. This is not FCC. There's no regulations on this show. And trust me, I'm called Jersey Joe for a reason, because my fucking mouth goes with me all the time. Say whatever you want.
Yeah, dude, you know, if you see my videos and stuff, I have a hard time holding my mouth down, dude. So it's like...
I knew what I was getting into when I asked you to come on.
Excellent. Well, I mean, look, and the other thing is actually somebody on my live Facebook thing here actually said USSR and was talking about it as you were talking about how, the whole Nazi movement and communism plays into this kind of thing. But, another thing, too, man, that I want to point out is I'm glad that we do have people in government that actually shot down some of the bills or whatever they were trying to pass for the gun law thing. Because let me just, and I've talked about this several times and I've gotten mixed reviews, but guns are not the issue. No. And like you said, the no-fly list, man, the terrorist watch list, that's a lot of freaking gray area, dude. I mean, so somebody can just be like, hey, I was scrolling through Facebook and I saw this guy say something, put him on that list. Is it that simple?
My brother's on the list.
Is he really? A no-fly list or a terrorist watch list?
The no-fly list, because he has a common name, John Anderson. And that's a common name used on forged passports because there's so many John Andersons in the United States. So he's on the no-fly list.
So is he allowed to legally own firearms at this point?
At this point, yes.
Okay, so...
But that list comes out.
If some of the stuff they were trying to pass through went through, they would actually convert him from the no-fly list to a no-buy list.
Exactly. And there's thousands. They recently had a 8-year-old Cub Scout who was on the no-fly list. I see that kid being real dangerous. Ooh, he can rub two sticks together and start a fire.
So this kid has to grow up and then petition to prove that he's innocent. And he's a Boy Scout, Cub Scout, or whatever. That's crazy.
It's easier to have your name changed than getting off that no-fly list.
Hey, you know what? I would love to change my name. I would love a new identity, one that hadn't, because I have a what they call a criminal history, even though I'm not a criminal. You know what I mean? So I would love to, dip mine clean and hell, you can call me whatever you want. I don't care. Just give me a clean slate. But last night, man, another guy was coming on to my Facebook, and something I shared where I said, they said that the thing that we're trying to pass for all the gun control measures were shot down, basically. And this guy comes on there. Now, let me just say one thing. His profile picture was the Grateful Dead Steal Your Face thing. I don't know if you guys know. So that was a red flag right there. It's like hippie alert. You know what I mean? And he says he carries guns and carries concealed, but he was saying that we were idiots because now we're giving terrorists the green light to be able to go buy firearms. And, again, that whole slippery slope syndrome, like once you allow them to nip to the point they actually turn piranha, then it's gone too far. So let's just stop them while they're nipping. And if you can conceal carry, then conceal carry. If you can keep a firearm on a person, keep it on your person. And when you see somebody looking like they're about to do some shady shit, well, then buck them.
I'm on the west coast of Florida, and you know what? I love being in Florida because of the gun rights. And his thing of, we're allowing them to get guns now. They can get guns any which way. They don't need guns. They've done...
Obama dropped these motherfuckers out of helicopters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this dude created ISIS. I think people forget that. Or he contributed. You know what I mean?
He helped create, and part of the Benghazi incident was they were running guns into Syria and arming these assholes. We helped arm ISIS. But back to the point of, we're allowing them to buy weapons. Well, if they're that dangerous and we know where they are, why the fuck are they still in our country? Why aren't they deported out of there? If they're that dangerous that they can't fly or buy a gun, get them the hell out of the country.
No, I agree absolutely. I mean, they have documentation that this guy has been on paper for, was it 2011, 2013, something to that effect. I think the first thing I saw was 2013, then it supposedly dated back to 2011.
But the problem is they could never find any specifics that he did wrong. So, unfortunately, as much as I hate to stick up for the scumbag, he did not break any laws at the time. Right. At least the information. So, he shouldn't be lambasted. And I don't want people being listed by our government and convicted basically on suspicion, because I don't want to be convicted. I don't want you convicted. I don't want any American convicted just on suspicion.
Yeah, no, that's going too far. That's like that movie with what is it, Tom Cruise or whatever, where they basically go in the future and snag people. They're trying to create that. But I mean, also, man, you know, the funny thing is people that actually voiced their concerns about this guy and his behaviors were fired. And Hillary Clinton supposedly had something to do with those situations occurring. Now, let me also drop this too, that the gentleman who owned the gun store where the guy purchased the firearms from, he also tried to purchase like level 3 body stuff like that, and he was reported. So I mean, and supposedly this was like a couple weeks before the incident in Orlando. So
the problem with that is they didn't get his ID, so they didn't have a name on the gentleman, so they weren't able to identify him at the time when he did the attack in Orlando. Then they were like, "Holy shit, that's the asshole that came in there." But they did call FBI, but they had no name to go by. That was the
right. Somebody's saying on my feed here, they're saying Hillary's a lot more powerful than people think. You know, there's times where I'm actually sitting out back smoking a cigarette at night waiting for somebody to off me, and it would actually be Hillary who sends them to do it. You know what I mean?
She does have a lot of power. And when it comes to guns, for your listeners and followers, I'm from New Jersey. In New Jersey, you cannot basically carry. It's next to impossible to get a concealed carry permit. When I was about 10 years old, my father got shot. A criminal walked into his work, put 2 bullets in my boss's dad's head, turned around, shot my father, and walked right out, never to be caught. All right? It was my father couldn't defend himself because New Jersey is a anti-gun state. So I've seen what these anti-gun laws do. They create victims. Now, my father survived. I don't want people thinking, the wrong thing. 23 surgeries in 10 years he had to go through. None of these anti-gun groups were around to help my family. We struggled. There was times we didn't even have fucking toilet paper, trying to get things done. And I seen with my own eyes what disarming the American people will do. If you don't have a weapon to protect yourself, the criminals are always going to have weapons.
Well, I mean, let's take a look at, and that's a tragic event. I feel for your man. That's horrible. I mean, I grew up kind of on the rough side myself. You know what I mean? And luckily, down the road, somehow I managed to dig deep and kind of change my circumstances. But
so did I.
But let's look at UK for example. I mean, the UK is like they're banned. Period.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody walked up and shot one of their politicians in broad daylight on a sidewalk.
France. So look what happened there.
I think what it comes down to is you can ban firearms all you want, but you're not going to ban bad people. And bad people with bad intentions are still going to carry out their harmful ways, man. I mean, anybody with some welding abilities, anybody with some workshop abilities can actually manufacture a gun. That's not hard to do. You know what I mean?
I saw somebody with just like what is a cast iron pipe? A shotgun shell and a spring. It wasn't even welding, just, he had to cut a slot in it to create for the spring to snap back, and he created a little handgun with a shotgun shell.
Right.
How long does that take?
Yep. So, look, it's ridiculous. I almost feel like, to a degree, it's a dog and pony show.
Yes.
I feel like, how people say the word distraction all the time? Like, dude, I talk about things and everybody's like, that's a distraction. And I'm like, well, goddamn, everything's a distraction, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like, nothing is worth talking about because it's all distractions. Even though, like, when you when you have that kind of mentality or you share that kind of attitude, next thing you know, those so-called distractions become law, and now you're stuck with that distraction. But, I mean, nonetheless, you know, like I feel like to a degree a lot of what we actually see, you know, I struggle with the idea of false flag and reality. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of times where, like, any situation that occurs, it seems like that hits a mass media scale like that. If you actually do some digging, it's not hard to, like, get a part where you're like, something ain't looking right. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, did you get your tickets for the show, everybody? Everybody enjoying the show? And then all of a sudden, here comes the people. Ooh, guns! And it's like, it's almost like a show, dude. It's like it's like, I mean, like, then next thing you know, you're boosting the ratings for the news networks and everything. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't know what to make of it sometimes. It's like when I first hear things, I'm like most people. The first thought is the emotional side where it's like, you know, you get angry or you're sad or whatever. And then the practical side hits in, and I tend to think 90 times out of, 90% of my life, I don't think with emotional, feelings. I try to, like, look at things from a different perspective. I try to instantly step myself back and, like, wait a minute, you know what I mean? But it's a tough call, man. Like, you know, you want to believe these things could be factual because, you know, there are people that are capable of doing these kind of events. But then when, like, you break down certain instances that occurred or whatever, it kind of just, I don't know. There's a lot of people saying false flag.
Yeah, but and I'm not trying to say that it's not real, but every time something happens anymore, you hear false flag. So it kind of, what's real and what's false flag, it kind of drowns out maybe what might be a false flag. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to discredit any of them. It's just they say it so much anymore. It's kind of, I think, overkill, and it devalues what may be a false flag.
Well, you know, it's like I always tell people, man. Like, if you want to know one of the key ingredients to a false flag is the minute the shit happens, everything's ready to go. You know what I mean? Like, I always tell people, if you want to see what real looks like, one of the closest things that I've ever thought that was a real situation was the boys in Oregon. You know what I mean? The Bundys and LaBoy Fennekom. These guys took over a federal building, and the first headline you read is 150 people that are armed take over a federal building. And then it takes them 2 weeks to even entertain these guys. But meanwhile, somebody can run up into a school, a gun-free zone that works, and kill multiple people, and within 2 minutes, the SWAT's there, the ATF's there, the fucking boogeyman's there, the helicopters are there, the news reporters already have their scripts ready to roll, and it's like, it just seems... Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just a little... You know?
I've had to question that one, too, a little bit. It's some too much convenience with some of the facts.
Right. And, you know, I actually did a show the other night, man, and a guy called in telling me he was a crisis actor, telling me that he's been hired and paid to wear fake blood and, you know, be a part of drills or whatnot the case is. And I also read online somewhere that supposedly there's supposed to be a major military drill, something about Bernie Sanders is somehow linked into it. I don't know, man. But I see some of the shit online and said, at this point, man, it's actually hard to keep up.
Yeah, it is. You can get overwhelmed very quickly. And one of the things I do, and especially last week, I couldn't wait for the weekend. Friday and Saturday, I do not turn on social media at all. I try to stay away from it because it's my little decompression time. I'll jump on the computer, I'll play my games, you know, World of Warcraft, EverQuest, all that. But I'm not going on social media because it's so much and so overwhelming it can be.
Oh, yeah. Dude, trust me, I know all about it. That's why I have moments in my life where you see me pop up online and I'm shit-faced drunk. Because I'm just like... I go so hard, bro, like, you know, like with what I do for work and what I do for the side thing and all these other things. And it's like, man, my life is consumed. You know what I mean? So it's like when I do have a moment to unplug, I normally end up shit-faced.
You know? With all my meds, I from my career as EMS, I've fucked my body up pretty good. So I'm on a lot of meds now that don't work too good with a lot of alcohol. So unfortunately, I can't drink anymore like I used to.
Somebody just brought up something in the live feed here on Facebook. Okay. They're like, you need to bring up the training camps, the ISIS training camps here in the United States. And the funny thing is, a lot of those places are public. If you search it, you can actually find it.
Yeah, but they said they had them here in the Tampa area, and I went, and there was nothing there.
Yeah.
So some of them, I'm not doubting that they're there, but some of these sites come up with the most creative stories because they get paid every time you click to go on their website. They get paid for that.
Oh, so they clickbait you.
Yeah, and they come up with these. I keep hearing how Trump's going to back out at the convention. He's going to resign and step away. Ted Cruz is coming up with a he's going to change the rules last minute. None of this is going to happen. The RNC isn't stupid. Even if Trump stepped down at the convention, that would dishearten so many millions of votes. It would kill him. It would kill the RNC. It's not happening. What's the other one? They're impeaching Obama. They are starting the proceedings. Well, even if they actually start the proceedings now, he'll be out of office before they can even get it out of the House.
We're stuck with that clusterfuck, man.
Yeah, he's got 6 months. He's not getting impeached.
As a matter of fact, he'll rapid fire with how much shit he can fucking just destroy you with before he gets out of office.
Yeah, that's the one thing I'm scared of. What is he going to do the next 6 months? How bad is he going to destroy?
I'll be honest, man. I kind of wonder, like, a lot of people talk about martial law and, like, him wanting to implement martial law for a third term. And honestly, I don't know if he does, man. I think maybe the dude's done. You know, like, I think he wants – I would almost imagine, like, if you've been through – I can't imagine being president, dude. I just really can't. I mean, if you ever watch, like, watch these guys when they first go in, they're all young and spriteful looking and shit. And when they come out, they just, like, make fucking road hard and put up wet.
Yeah, they're all gray.
The hate that I get on YouTube and the hate that I get on fucking Facebook and whatnot, man, if I did that on his kind of level, I couldn't imagine it, man. You know, I really couldn't imagine it. I would imagine he probably would want to get the fuck out of there. But if not, then all I can tell people that are listening, just be ready. You know what I mean? Like,
it would start a civil war. He does not have the military backing. Are they switching our military that they would have military backing? Yes, they're pushing for the illegal aliens to be pushed into the military. They don't have a sense of, you know.
Slow down there, guys. You cannot say illegal aliens.
I'm sorry. What are they? Americans in waiting.
Yes, undocumented Americans.
Oh, my God.
Check your privilege.
Oh, shit, my privilege. Oh, man. Oh, that's another one I love. And you got this white privilege. Oh, I'm privileged. I'm barely keeping electric on in my house. Barely keeping food. Is that privilege? Oh, my God.
Last I checked, nobody's sending me anything for assistance. So,
yeah, the Koch brothers aren't sending me a check. Trump isn't sending me a check.
Yeah. So you're all on your own out there. Enjoy that privilege. Sinkers, hope you float.
Listen, give information about your show to my listeners. I want them to know when you're starting up and where they can find you and everything.
Well, listen, right now, the show that I'm doing is really a sporadic thing, man. Until I can actually lock down a day and a time, and I'm like, this is when I'm going to do this show, and that's the way it's going to occur. And I'm still finding my way through the things. I'm tweaking some of the, I went live the other day and tried to do it, and like ads were playing when I was supposed to be talking, and it was just super unprofessional. But I don't give a shit about that. Things happen, man. I'll work the kinks out. But you can pretty much find me all over the internet, man. I have my own website, which is www.outlawmorgan.com. I'm on YouTube, pretty much any of the social sites /Outlaw Morgan. You can find me, like Twitter, for example, at Outlaw Morgan, Instagram at Outlaw Morgan. I mean, anywhere Outlaw Morgan will suffice. As far as what I'm doing with the podcasting that I'm getting into, you can actually find me on Spreaker. Again, Outlaw Morgan, and I have 2 apps that are available on Android and iTunes. So you can literally just download my apps, and everything's all in one place.
Okay.
So That's actually the easiest way. And I know that sounds crazy. It's like, holy shit, you got your own app. But I actually built my own apps myself, except for the one from Spreaker. They provide it for you. But the other one I pretty much built myself. I built my own website. I think that's a lot of things. I think that's something people don't know about me is before all this, dude, like I was doing videos and editing, and I was doing building websites, and I was doing graphic design, and I was doing all kind of shit before all this came along. So it was easy for me to kind of make that internet presence, I guess, you know what I mean? Or like to develop an app that actually works or whatever. Like it wasn't that hard to do. I'm actually a nerd, dude, in real life. I'm like an out of prison hard ass nerd.
Well, listen, I know we talked about it and you love having control over your show and everything, but we're also having a little revamp here at SHR Media.
Okay.
It's not going to involve any of the live show, but what we're doing is we are 100% looking for more live shows. So I just keep in mind, man, you have full control. You can go into my chat room. I know there's only 2 girls in there. They're there every day. You have full control of the show. I do whatever I want, say whatever I want, as long as I'm within my time frame. That's all they give a shit about. You know,
right?
So keep that in mind. We're doing a major revamp here, because we want more live aspect.
Okay.
So
yeah. Dude, as soon as I get things tweaked out, dialed in, like my whole thing is I don't like giving people commitments, and I don't like people feeling like they have their grip on me. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not saying that would be the case by any means.
I know. I just wanted to update you on that. I hate to cut you off, and hopefully you can stay after, but I got to get to a break. I got commercials I got to play. So
actually, dude, I've got to run, but I appreciate you having me. And we'll do it again, man. We'll talk about other things or whatnot. Maybe I'll have you on my show.
Yeah. Anytime. You have an open invitation. You have my phone number. You want to talk, you just call in any day, 11 to 1. So.
All right, man. Appreciate you. Got to run.
All
Thanks, bud. Bye.
Peace. You're listening to a replay from June 21st, 2016. This is put in place of July 4th, 2016. I want to wish everybody a happy July 4th. Be safe. Have fun. And spend your time with some family. Till tomorrow, Tuesday, regular time, this is Jersey Joe saying, have a happy, safe 4th of July. All right, you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio and ICRN Radio. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network. Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
Out of the ashes of liberal rises the phoenix born onto the Red Nation Rising Radio Network coming July 4th, 2016. One of the many serving this great phoenix of Red Nation Rising Network is the one, the only Jersey Joe. Jersey Joe is bringing his Reaver of Common Sense show to the birth of a new Red Nation Rising Radio Network. Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reverb Common Sense Show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid promo.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mud Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reverbcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reverb Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reverb of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reverb Common Sense Show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless and really fucking up the chat room right now. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch the broadcast, go to Reverb.one. Click on the live stream. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And last but not least, if you want to support the show or if you want to support SHR Media, go to Reverb.one. That is REAVER.ONE. Pick yourself up a t-shirt. So this is an old article. I want to give the warning before I start talking. I'm not going to get majorly into it, but I think everybody will get the point of this. This was back in March 1st of 2014. This happened in China. 33 dead and 130 injured in China knife-wielding spree. A group of knife-wielding men attacked a train station in southwest China on Saturday. Remember, this is an old article. Killing at least 29 people and injuring more than 130 in what Chinese officials called a terroristic strike. 4 of the attackers were also shot dead, and only 1 was captured alive after the mayhem. So I'm hoping everybody understands what that is about. It does not take a weapon to create a high death toll. It does, or I should say, it does not take a gun. I am sick and tired of this mindset. Sick and tired of this mindset of only guns will cause these attacks. Taking guns away from Americans is only going to kill more Americans. We have an administration that has brainwashed these nitwits to think that the best way to go is to disarm everybody. They have gone so far to say, Josh Earnest said, that once we lay down our arms, our enemies, the terrorists, will lay down their arms. This is a government that is out to kill Americans. And let me tell you, Hillary is going to be just as bad. Hillary is going to continue his legacy. She is going to continue the death of America. Now, as I said earlier, the jackass Senator Chris Murphy, who did that filibuster mandating a vote on gun control that had already been voted on and failed, wanted it to vote on again, and it failed again, surprisingly. They knew it was going to fail. They wanted to go, look at what we did. We tried. They're talking about turning things political, not making a dog and pony show out of the deaths. What the fuck do you think these idiots just did? Because the same idiot that did it, the filibuster, Chris Murphy, has been making the rounds in support of the Democrat-proposed anti-gun legislation. However, in a recent interview on ABC's This Week, the Connecticut senator might have done more harm than good to his own cause when pressed by a reporter, Jonathan Karl, on the effectiveness of proposed anti-gun legislations. Murphy essentially admitted it would have done nothing to prevent the terrorist attack in Orlando. Your proposal would have done nothing in the case of Orlando. It wouldn't have done nothing to stop the killing in San Bernardino, and in fact is unrelated to the killing in Newtown. Karl explained to Murphy, saying, why? I mean, why? Why are we focusing on things that have nothing to do with the massacres that we are responding to? Although Murphy initially claimed that the tragedies might have been prevented with the proposed legislation, his answer belled his claim. We can't get into the trap in which we are forced to defend our proposal simply because it doesn't stop the last tragedy. Well, that's what you're saying, you jackass. You're saying this will stop it, but it wouldn't have stopped. Oh, that doesn't have anything to do with it. But that's why you're bringing this proposal up. Yep. But it wouldn't have stopped that. Correct. It won't stop the next one. Correct. It would have stopped a single goddamn mass shooting we've dealt with. Correct. Does anybody see an issue with the moronic logic these jackasses come up with? It drives me up a wall. All right. I'm actually going to play the clip of this jackass. And yes, I have called him a jackass. That was being nice. All right.
Welcome back to Face the Nation. We are joined now by Democratic Senator Dianne Feinstein. Senator, I want to start with what Wayne LaPierre was saying.
Wait a minute, wrong one. Where the hell did I put that clip? Sorry about this. I added the Dianne Feinstein clip. Buttons. Who got the button? Here it is. All right. Sorry. I am unprepared. Hold me for detention. All right. Here we go. Here it is.
You specifically are pushing a bill and have been pushing a bill, and it will be voted on Monday, to close the so-called gun show loophole. Would that have done anything to stop the massacre in Orlando?
So it may have, in the sense that if you partner it together with a bill that stops terrorists from
But wait a minute, he didn't buy those guns at a gun show. And he would have passed the background. He did pass a background check.
He did pass a background check, but if the Feinstein bill was in effect, the FBI could have put him on the list of those who are prohibited from getting guns. And what if he went into the gun store and was denied? Then he could have just gone online or to a gun show and bought another one.
But what I'm trying to get at is we hear every time there's one of these terrible tragedies.
You cannot order a gun online and have it shipped to your house. That is one of the many lies that they tell you. You cannot do it, period. It is against the law.
There's these proposals. Your proposal would have done nothing in the case of Orlando. It would have done nothing to stop the killing in San Bernardino. And in fact, is unrelated to the killing in Newtown. But what I'm trying to get at is we hear every time there's one of these terrible tragedies, there's these proposals. Your proposal would have done nothing in the case of Orlando. It would have done nothing to stop the killing in San Bernardino. And in fact, is unrelated to the killing in Newtown. So why? Why are we focusing on things that have nothing to do with the massacres that we are responding?
Well, so first of all, we can't get into that trap.
Can't get into that trap. In other words, what we're saying is bullshit. It won't stop nothing, but we don't want to defend our stance. We can't defend it, so we are going to go around it. This is something Democrats and politicians do all the time. They come up with bullshit reason why they can't talk about it.
Agree. I think if this proposal had been into effect, it may have stopped this shooting. But we can't get into the trap in which we are forced.
We can't get into the
proposal
trap
simply because it didn't stop the last tragedy. We should be making our gun laws less full of Swiss cheese holes so that future.
And more bullshit from the left. He got caught, and he didn't know what to do. Typical bullshit on the left. And it drives me up a wall. It drives me and it pisses me off. I know I'm repeating myself, but that is how bad this shit pisses me off. It's an absolute joke. Six minutes ago, Fox News reported 3 heavily armed people arrested near New York City tunnel. That I'm going to find out what I can get more on that. Because right now, Fox has Hillary talking. And I'll see what I can find. Let me go back to... I was looking for something. My apologies. Actually looking... Thought it'd be easier to go this way. I want to play this again. This is Chris Paronto. We owe this man and his comrades much more than we are giving them. And it's sick. This man already fought for our country. God knows how many times. And he's still fighting for our country.
My name is Chris Paronto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and 2 of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is. And that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We are always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
This country has been leading from behind. It's when the U.S. has not been leading, it's never good things. The world goes to hell. So while that was playing, I pulled up three arrested outside New York City. What sounded painful? 3 arrested outside New York City after weapons cache, ballistic vest found in vehicle. 3 people were arrested when police discovered a weapons cache and ballistic vest in the vehicle headed to New York City during a search at the Holland Tunnel on Tuesday. Authorities arrested 2 men in their 50s and a woman in their 30s after finding multiple loaded long-range weapons, handguns, ballistic vests, and a camouflage helmet in the vehicle. The trio, who may be from Pennsylvania, was initially stopped for a cracked windshield, the news station added. A search of the vehicle turned up the weapons. A joint terrorist task force is assisting the investigation, a source told NBC4. The suspect's final destination was unclear. The Holland Tunnel, New York side, is located in Lower Manhattan. I'm not going to jump the gun, especially with the age group. We'll see what comes about. It's... They were driving through New Jersey with those weapons, which is illegal. It's illegal in New Jersey for you to own body armor. So, right there, they were breaking multiple laws. The AR-15s that they had are illegal in the state of New Jersey. They were going into New York City, where, again, all of the stuff was illegal. And I don't think they had any permits to be going through. Even driving through New Jersey with weapons is, oh my God. You can have them secured and they're still going to fuck with you. I'm not trying to knock the police. They're just, they're pushing the laws that are on the books. So, it's going to be interesting. Let's see where our government tries to place the blame. Of course, they'll place the blame on the guns. They always do. That's their MO. When it's funny when Muslim jihadists, extremist Muslims commit heinous acts on American soil, they want to talk about Christians from thousands of years ago, what they did. Well, at the same time the Christians were doing heinous things, the Muslims were doing heinous things. It's how can we place the blame on somebody else somewhere else? It's, I don't know. It's disheartening. Very disheartening. Supposedly Hillary's giving a speech and contradicting herself, which doesn't surprise me. So, no problem, Jenna. I talk kind of fast, and I know I do. Public outcry has forced Obama's hand, and uncensored Orlando transcripts have been released. But the little jackasses still modified those releases. The Department of Justice and the FBI released a more complete transcripts of Muslim terrorists' 911 phone calls with his statements pledging allegiance to Islamic State after he gunned down dozens in a gay Orlando nightclub last Sunday. Unfortunately, the unreleased portions of the transcripts that name the terrorist organization and the leaders have caused an unnecessary distraction from the hard work that the FBI and our law enforcement partners have been doing to investigate this heinous crime. As much of this information had been previously reported, we have reissued the complete transcript to include these references in order to provide the highest level of transparency possible under the circumstances. The new transcript still replaces the Muslim god Allah with the word God. At 2:35 a.m., shooter contacts 911 from Inside Pulse. The call lasted approximately 90 seconds, the detail of which are set out below. Orlando dispatcher, Emergency 911, this is being recorded. In the name of God, Allah the Merciful, the benefits, and then he goes into Arabic. The dispatcher responds, what? Praise to be Allah, and I'm putting in the correct words. I'm not doing this bullshit that our government did. And prayers as well as peace be upon the prophet of Allah. I want to let you know I'm in Orlando and I did the shooting. What's your name? My name is, I pledge of allegiance to Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi of the Islamic State. Okay, what is your name? I pledge allegiance to al-Baghdadi. May Allah protect him on behalf of the Islamic State. Where are you? Orlando. Where in Orlando? He then hung up. The Obama administration drew intense criticisms for initially scrubbing the terrorist reference to the Islamic State as he perpetuated this deadly mass shooting in U.S. history. What we're not going to do is further proclaim this man's pledge of allegiance to terrorist group and further his propaganda, Attorney General Loretta Lynch declared Sunday before the administration's reverse its decision. Well, by not giving correct information, you're changing the narrative, you're misinforming the public, and you're putting a message out to the terrorists that they are winning. I discussed this earlier. That is all you were doing by putting out this information like you did and putting out false information like you did. I find it irreprehensible, disgusting, and all around sick that our own government is misleading the people, trying to create secret lists to remove people's constitutional rights. American people are forgetting a promise they made to the dead that we would never forget. We have a group of people in this country that would rather piss on our military than congratulate our military and thank our military. We have a group of people in this country that hate this country. And that's why they back Obama. Obama and his wife have never cared for the country. They've said it themselves. They want to tear it down and rebuild it into a socialist country. Socialism never works out. And don't tell me Switzerland and all them, because they are now switching over to a conservative government because things are not working out. It was all great and fine that they could have their socialist government when the United States was protecting them. Oh, we're no longer protecting them. Well, it's that time. You're listening to a replay from June 21st, 2016. This is put in place of July 4th, 2016. I want to wish everybody a happy July 4th. Be safe, have fun, and spend your time with some family. Till tomorrow, Tuesday, regular time, this is Jersey Joe saying, have a happy, safe 4th of July. You're listening to the Reverb of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN Network, and soon to be Red Nation Rising Radio. We will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our Gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
Out of the ashes of liberal rises the phoenix born onto the Red Nation Rising Radio Network coming July 4th, 2016. One of the many serving this great phoenix of Red Nation Rising Network is the one, the only Jersey Joe. Jersey Joe is bringing his Reverb Common Sense show to the birth of a new Red Nation Rising Radio Network. Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reverb of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reverb of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid program.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mud Show with its host, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reverbcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reverb Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reverb of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reverb Common Sense Show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, that's perfect. Go to reaver.one, reaver.one, and click on the live stream. Don't forget to hit subscribe. And if you want to support the show or even support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one and click on the Reaver store. Right now I'm looking over and the Senate is in session. And you have the Democrats still yipping, trying to get gun bans in. And they're trying to quote these bullshit push polls that were made just for the Democrats. Sorry. The numbers they come up with are an impossibility. Nothing in this country have we agreed on in 80 and 90 percentile. Nothing. It just drives me up a wall. So the police are reporting that a man tried to kill Donald Trump at a Vegas rally, and he's now been charged. A federal officer say a man arrested at a Donald Trump rally in Las Vegas told authority he tried to grab an officer's gun so he can kill the candidate. A complaint filed Monday in U.S. District Court in Nevada charges Michael Stephen Sanford with the act of violence on restricted grounds. It cites a report from a special agent whose first name was not included, saying Sanford told officers he drove from California to kill Trump and went to a Las Vegas gun range the day before to learn to shoot. Sanford later went to a Trump rally at the Treasure Island Casino and approached a Las Vegas police officer to say he wanted an autograph from Trump. The report said Sanford was arrested after grabbing the handle of the officer's gun in an attempt to remove it. It wasn't immediately clear if this nut job had an attorney. Las Vegas police say Sanford is 19 years old. These Democrats are just... And I don't understand. Every time that they push gun control, like they are right now, they have lost elections. Every time. they lose elections big time when they push gun control, but yet they keep pushing gun control. I don't understand it. I mean, are they trying to self-destruct? Are they trying to destroy themselves? I don't know. They are not pushing it for the majority of the country. There's people that are buying their bullshit, but I don't believe that it's a majority of the country. I noticed all they're trying to do is demonize right now. Their whole purpose of everything right now is to demonize the NRA. You notice everything's revolved around making NRA into being a monster. Well, do you know what you've done by doing that? Well, I've never had an NRA membership until now. I will renew my NRA membership because of all this bullshit that the Democrats are trying to pull. They complain about that the NRA is buying politicians. Well, what the fuck about Michael Bloomberg? What do you think he does? He buys politicians, and he says the only way I'm going to help you get reelected and pay for your reelection is you have to agree to push my gun control measures. He is buying votes. But that's okay, because they're doing it. It drives me up a wall. Now, as everybody knows, that Donald Trump has fired his campaign manager on Monday. The campaign manager, Corey, is not upset and said he understands it needs to go in a different direction. In a direction that he's not going to be able to take it. He went to a meeting unaware. No, Kel, the guy didn't have a year. He went to a shooting range one time to learn how to shoot. He went there once to learn how to shoot. Which really makes... The day before he went to commit this crime, he went to a gun range to learn how to shoot. That makes me laugh. And yes, his whole strategy was, I'm going to grab an officer's gun. Yeah. Yep, that is a special kind of stupid. But yes, the campaign manager has been released from employment with Trump. They had both left on amicable terms. This it says he was from California. Yeah, he trained over there in the UK for a year. Okay. Get your money back because they trade you to do shit. Oh, God. I got C-SPAN on, and it's shown from 2005, January 6th. Senator Barack Obama, first Senate speech. Yeah. Oh, God, help us. That man has done more destruction to this country than anyone could have ever thought. And I'm backing up what a lot of people are saying. I'm backing up what Scott Baio is saying, that this guy is somehow connected to the Muslims. He is doing this on purpose. This is by plan. Because it's been said time and time again, the only way you could destroy the United States was from destroying it from the inside. And these Muslim groups understand that, and they have now infiltrated our government. And the left is so fucking blind to this, and they deny it when it's right in front of their face. The Muslim Brotherhood is in high command. They're in the DOJ. They're in the NSA. Sorry, Cal, I didn't see that one. Good, the bail was denied. Good. That won't be the only one that pops up. People are so afraid of Trump because he's going to correct. He's not going to deal with the same bullshit that these politicians have been pulling for years. And I'm sorry, Cruz would have been just the same as the rest. He talks the same stuff that George Bush talked about. And I'm not trying to knock George Bush and blame everything on him. I won't do that. But he's just like the rest of them. And I'm sick of it, you know. And I'm so tired of the destruction of this country. Yeah, Cal, sorry. I've been so many stories out there. I just grabbed the wrong one that wasn't up to date. So my apologies. I should know better. You never feed me bad information, so I'm sorry. Honestly, doing this show can be depressing when you go over all this bullshit. When you go over the blatant, he either is part of the problem, and I mean Obama, or he is dumb as dog shit. And this one's a little bit old story, but I haven't had a chance to get to it this week, but I want to get to it today. Gunstorm claims CBS News violated federal law to making buying an AR-15 look easy. Spec Dive Tactical of Alexandria, Virginia, claims a CBS News employee violated federal law in an effort to provide it is easy to acquire an AR-15. CBS News' Paula Reed bought the rifle, telling the store's general manager the gun was for her own use. But hours after purchasing the gun, she allegedly transferred it to a third party. According to the Washington Free Beacon, CBS this morning reported the rifle was legally transferred to a federal licensed firearm dealer and weapons instructor in Virginia just hours after it was bought. The problem with this is that ATF background check form 4473 says, are you actually transferee/buyer of the firearms listed on this form? Warning, you are not the actual buyer if you are acquiring the firearm on behalf of another person. If you are not the actual buyer, the dealer cannot transfer the firearm to you. Spec Dive Tactical contacted the ATF after the story aired on CBS, letting the agency know they feared a straw purchase may have occurred. The store's general manager said due to the information provided in the CBS News report filed, I suspect Miss Reed committed a straw purchase and procurement of a firearm under false pretenses. In March of 2013, it was reported that Mark Kelly and Gabby Gifford's husband was denied an AR-15 purchase at Diamondback Police Supply due to similar straw purchase concerns. Kelly went into Diamond Police Supply to show how easy it is to get a gun, and after initially being denied a handgun sale due to wrong ID, he was denied an AR-15 sale because he told media outlets he was not buying the gun for himself. And that's what this woman did, and that is called a straw purchase. But will the government actually enforce the federal laws that we have? No. Have we been enforcing the federal gun laws the past 7.5 years? No. Has this administration been releasing violent criminals from jail early? Yes. He is not convicting these people. He is not charging these people that commit the crimes. These gangbangers can get charged federally. Does he do it? No. It is disgusting. This man has... And he's purposely destroying this country. He's purposely causing an influx of criminals and then trying to disarm the American people. I don't see how people can't see that we have a government trying to disarm us and then saying, well, we're going to create a special list. You don't have to be guilty of anything. You don't have to commit a crime, but we're going to take your constitutional rights away without a court, without a jury, no due process at all, and we're going to take away your constitutional rights. Just on suspicion. Nothing more, nothing less. Suspicion. Hey, Dan. Let me tell you, there's articles talks about 6 reasons to buy an AR-15 now. There could be a lot more. Because of the frenzied push to ban assault rifles in general, the AR-15 specifically, together with the media's clear attempt to misalign the AR at every turn, the Breitbart News thought it would be the perfect time to share 6 reasons why it makes sense to buy an AR-15. AR-15s are easy to operate. An AR-15 rifle is a simple firearm to operate and understand. Anyone who owns a gun of any kind should be well acquainted with it so as to know where every bullet will go if you have to grab the weapon and use it in a defensive situation. What's funny is there is a quote-unquote assault rifle that is deadlier, just as easy to get your hands on, fires a higher powerful projectile bullet, and that would be the AK-47 and the 7.62 round. It is deadlier, kills more, but everybody just talks about the AR-15. Well, the AK-47 is heavier, and that's why I don't like it. And it's a Russian-made, and getting some of the parts is really a bitch sometimes. So, AR-15s are accurate. AR-15s are popular for hunting because they are accurate weapons. This is also why they are extremely popular for target shooting. An AR-15 fires 1 round and only 1 round every time the trigger is pulled. So it is a precision weapon when used in long-range shooting application that makes mastery of the weapon for long-range shots both fun and rewarding. AR-15s are easy to accessorize. An AR-15 are the Glock or Colt 1911 of the rifle world. If you need a part for an AR, you can get it. If you need a light, laser, sight, scope, grip, trigger, stock, suppressor, sling, magazine, etc., you can get it. If you want the same grips and stock types but in different colors, you can get it. An effort, you could personalize an AR-15 so that it's not just a gun, rather it's your gun. AR-15 is a defensive rifle. John Stokes makes a great point about a defensive use of an AR-15. He refers to the AR-15 as an assault rifle for the purpose of making his argument, then writes an assault rifle is a defense rifle, and a defense rifle is an assault rifle. These two concepts are identical. And before all this bullshit started, Homeland Security had the AR-15 as the best home defensive weapon. It is light, it's accurate, You don't have to worry about it going through multiple layers. It is great for confined space, which would be your house, so you're not knocking shit over. And I'm sorry, you're not just going to get attacked by one attacker. And you're not going to have one perfect place shot. You're going to have to throw some lead at the person. Whether you hit perfect shots, it's going to take more than one. Why do you think they train cops? Center mass, 2 shots, 1 in the head. That's why they teach that, because it takes more than one shot. The AR stands for Armalite Rifle. It is not meant as assault rifle. It does not mean automatic rifle. It is an American rifle, just as the AK-47 is a Russian weapon. And the best reason is because you have the right to. It is not a military weapon. It is not a military weapon, period. It was designed as a civilian weapon, and then, as most weapon companies do, they try to sell their weapons to the military. The military was looking for a replacement. They did not have the ability to make a sale to the military. So they sold the patent and design to Colt. Colt had their hands in the military and then redesigned and made the M16, which now I believe it's the M4 the military is using. They look alike. It is not a military weapon. I keep hearing, oh, you're not going to hunt with it. Number one, Second Amendment doesn't say shit about hunting. Number two, I know a lot of people that use the AR for hunting. You can use it. It is an accurate, lightweight weapon. But yet, people keep pushing false information out about it in hopes of discrediting it. And anyway, well, why do you need an AR-15? Well, why the fuck do we need bikes that do 200 miles per hour on our streets? And yes, that bike can kill multiple people with ease. Why do we need a car that does 150, 170 miles per hour? Why? Speed limit in most states is a maximum of 75 miles per hour. Because you have the right to own it. And understand this, a gun is a constitutional right. Okay, and I know some of them use the M4s. They're still using the M16, A4 also now. I'll take his opinion on it. Difference between a car and an AR-15. We have a constitutional right to own firearms for protection from the government, from our fellow citizens. You do not have a constitutional right for a car, and the government has made sure to tell us that a car is a privilege, not a right. But you can go buy a car that is a rocket. And I'm not saying people shouldn't own them. I don't give a shit. That's your right. But don't sit there and preach to me that I shouldn't own a gun. And why shouldn't I own a gun that maybe is equal to our government? Because one of the reasons we have the Second Amendment is to make sure that if we need to stand up against our government, we have the ability to stand up against our government. A government that overpowers its citizens is a government that rules its citizens. I don't know how much more I can make that clearer. This is an argument that's going to be going on for a while again. This is an argument that's going to be a lot of false information again. The Democrats love to do that push, false information, lie straight out. Some of us are getting tired of it. I am. I want to thank everybody for being here today. I want to thank my guest, Outlaw Morgan. I love his work. Yeah, terrorists would go away if we just gave them $15 an hour jobs. And once we all put down our weapons, they will realize it, the love, and put down their weapons. Yeah. Thanks, Dan. I needed a laugh. Check out Outlaw Morgan on Facebook. I know that's an easy way to find him. If you just search Outlaw Morgan, you'll find him. Check out his videos. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Ooh. Tomorrow is my double day. That means I have the Reaver Common Sense show from 11 to 1 right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, and ICRN. And then at 8 p.m., it is the Southside Mutt Show with the Jersey Boys, myself, Jersey Joe, and Crash. I know he's raring to go this week. So his blood pressure has been up, bitching and moaning about everything going on. And with that, I just want to say thank you. Thank you. It's an honor that you allow me to be here. And I try to give you guys the best information I can. Till tomorrow. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.